the biggest empire the world had ever seen. Everyone has heard of the ancient Greek Empire of 2,500 years ago, but very few people know the story of their enemies, the Persians from modern-day Iran. For almost 200 years, from 550 BC to 330 BC, the Persian Empire was the most powerful state in the world. It went from Iran to Egypt and from Eastern Europe to India, covering 44% of the world's people, or about 50 million people. Cyrus II. 2,600 years ago, Persia was made up of different states, each with their own leaders. By 554 BC, Cyrus II, the king of Persia, united them all to create one empire. Around 546 BC, Cyrus began building the huge city of Pasargadae, now in modern-day Iran. Unlike previous kings, Cyrus was known for kindness, not cruelty. For example, after attacking Babylon, he did not kill the people there. He was kind and generous. Cyrus understood the history of these people and allowed them to be free if they would accept him as their king. Darius I. Darius I, 550 to 486 BC, became the leader after Cyrus died. He wanted to build trade in the empire, so he became a great administrator. He created new ways to collect taxes, allowed the states in his empire to have some control, and created a common set of laws to help expand trade. Darius the Great became one of the greatest builders of all time. He built temples in Egypt and in many cities such as Persepolis and Susa in modern-day Iran. The Royal Road. Darius built a road about 1,500 kilometers long. The Royal Road went from Sardis in Turkey to Susa in Persia. Now he could communicate easily with the far corners of his empire. He was now ready to expand the empire farther into Egypt, India, and Greece. The Greco-Persian Wars. After Darius I died, his son Xerxes continued to prepare to fight the Greeks. This Greco-Persian War would be one of the most important in world history. At that time, Greece was not one country. It was made up of city-states which had their own leaders. But soon, these city-states realized that only together could they defeat the Persians. Between 490 and 480 BC, the Persians attacked some Greek states. Although Darius's army was defeated at the Battle of Marathon in 490 BC, he did not give up. He attacked them again and again. After the Persians defeated the Greeks at the Battle of Thermopylae, they entered Athens, the Greek capital. Many of the people in Athens escaped in their ships to Salamis. The Battle of Salamis, along with 2 other battles, would shape the history of the ancient world. The Battle of Salamis. This battle was fought on ships. The Greeks had fewer ships, but they were clever. The Greeks got the Persians to follow them into the narrow straits of Salamis, where they had the advantage and were able to defeat the Persians. A year later, in the summer of 479 BC, the Persians tried again at Plataea and Mycale. But they did not have enough soldiers to beat the Greeks. These were the deciding battles, and the Greeks won the war. The legacy. Both Cyrus and Darius were great men of their time. They led their empires well and fairly. Both men had the qualities we expect of great leaders. Their people loved them because they were fair and did not hurt them. Many emperors and kings were to follow them in history. Alexander the Great was greatly influenced by both Cyrus and Darius. Roman emperors and Greek kings also learned how to rule their people like Cyrus and Darius. Cyrus and Darius created an empire the world would never forget.